that it contains the potential for everything. It's the plenum, it's the possibilities, it's the pleroma. It contains the potential for the song of the lark, and rock and roll, and Auschwitz, and you. Everything. It must, otherwise it couldn't come out of it. Intelligence, love, everything. And then from the singularity, we've had this of complexity slowly, did gases for a very long time, nothing much happening, got bored with that, speeding up, life, star systems, all of this, billions and billions and billions of years. I mean, it's a great story, isn't it? Epic. Until you've got, not only are we conscious of the universe, we are, put this in a different language, what I'm saying, we are the singularity. Become conscious of the universe. What else could we be? So you get Thierry de Chardin, his lovely line about evolution is the development of ever more complex eyes with which the universe can see itself. Isn't that gorgeous? And we're that. So here we are, and we're getting more and more conscious, and we're sentient now, and we can really sense it. And then self-consciousness. Not only are we conscious, but we're conscious that we're conscious. And that is particularly marked by us. So we've had all of this from the singularity in the story we tell about this dream, going all leading to this moment right now, and I mean this one in particular, where we are self-conscious. And you look at that journey and you go, well, what was that for then? What was that dream about? And on my bleaker moments when I look at it, I think, well, we've been on this billion years journey to reality TV. Please tell me that cannot be it. But I don't think it is it. So what is it? It seems to me is that the cutting edge of our evolution, as far as we know. There may be all sorts of things going on that we have no knowledge about. Probably are, undoubtedly, I would think. But anyway, what we're with is we're self-conscious. So if you want to be on the cutting edge, pay attention to the cutting edge. And the cutting edge is you are conscious that you're conscious. So pay attention to the fact that you're conscious. Look at that, and then suddenly, bang, you find yourself conscious of being the singularity back here, except right in this moment. And that it's all arising in this moment from that. Now, how that relates to your question is, once you get a grand narrative like that, and it's as good as any other, I kind of like it, is how do we then, how can we help ourselves wake up, recognize that we're all one, and that we're one and many, and that's what's so beautiful, because I can love you because you're different and you're the same. Cool. And we can be like that with everyone, and meet the challenges of what Elizabeth was talking about, that we're all individuals. In fact, because of this hall of mirrors effects of the paradox, we only get to recognize this oneness through individuating. You guys can only be here remotely interested in this because you have separated yourself off from the unconscious herd. You grew up in a culture and then you went, is that right? You doubted it. Doubt is your most powerful ally. It's a fantastic thing. Doubt is your entrance to the mystery. You doubted it. You thought for yourself. Other people who aren't here, many of them don't think for themselves. They've got a whole set of opinions they think are theirs. They're willing to die for them, but they're not even their opinions. They're somebody else's opinions. They're just the opinions that were put in their head when they were in school. These guys are out there fighting in God, all over the world for their opinions. And they're not even theirs, because they've never been able to do that. So you have to separate yourself off, individuate, become a one, a someone, in order to recognize that you're conscious and you're the one. Now, all of that was a very, very long way of saying I have no idea how we do it. I want to set up this is what I really want to do. I want to set up what I'm calling the Alliance for Lucid Living. I've kind of given the name on my website. I don't know what it's going to be. Just because I really like the idea of joining the Alliance for Lucid Living, because it's joining the all, ALL, it's kind of cute. And what I really think is that what we need is a genuine movement, which is, but it's not necessarily about organizations and all of that sort of stuff, but we need organizations. We need lots of them. It's about recognizing that although we may be saying it in different ways, and we've got differences, and we need to argue-bargue about the differences and sort out the best ways of thinking, there's some recognition which is the same. And the key recognition, I think, is the simplest, which is you've recognized that fundamentally we are all one. Mystically, if you like, we are all one. As an environment, we are all one. As humanity, we are all one, as well as separate. And if we can just find that one simple idea, it could be like, you know, Archimedes' thing of give me a pivot and I can move the world. And I've looked and looked and looked thinking, where's the pivot that we can move this with? And I think the pivot is the idea we're all one. That's the pivot. And it's breaking out everywhere. If we can get that, and really get it into mainstream culture, then I think we can move it. We can actually move it. And it's really simple. You know, if I think I've got to solve every problem on the planet, environmental disaster, AIDS, it's like, oh, I'm like this. But if I think fundamentally all we've got to do is spread one idea, just one idea, and all the rest will start taking care of itself. Because if we had that one idea, we'd be in love with each other. And if we're in love with each other, we'll help. And we're very creative and very intelligent when we stop putting our attention on arms manufacture and put it on humanitarian resources. It will change. So all we've got to do is spread one idea. Seems pretty feasible. And then you think, well, maybe this thin veneer of separateness between us could come down like the Berlin Wall. Just one day you go, cool, never thought that would happen. But damn me, it did. Does that work? Okay. Thank you.
Right here. Okay, my name is Will, and I'm going to put the heat on you a bit now. There's a lot of folks in the world who are prepared to die for a certain idea. Are you prepared to die for that idea?
Well, my latest book that's gone out in America, which is an attack on fundamentalism, it's a two-part book. It's called The Laughing Jesus. You can get it, if you're interested, on my website, which I need to plug. So I'll do it now, because I always forget this. In fact, I'll do my general plug. timothyfreke.com, Freke, F-R-E-K-E. It's a great website. And you can buy the new book, although you can't get it here. And CDs and blah, 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 and seminars that I'm running, which I'm doing all over the place, and they're real good, and that's my plug. Now I forgot your question. Yes, die for it, die for it, got it. That's it, yeah. My new book, that's how I got to the plug, which isn't available here. The Laughing Jesus, on the back of The Laughing Jesus. It's in two halves. The first is called The Bath Water, and the second is called The Baby. And the first half of the book's about religion, and the second is about this, what I call this Gnostic wisdom of waking up, this lucid living, this thing. This is what we need to get rid of. This is the debris which has accumulated over the top, this literalist religion. This, underneath it, this is the real McCoy. This is what we need to keep and really get now. But on the back of the book it says, what if the Old Testament was a work of fiction, Jesus never existed, and Muhammad was a mobster? Which is why I can't get it published in the UK. So I guess I must be willing to die for this.